Hello knitters, come on in, sit down and have a chat with me. This is the Cozy Sky Knits podcast. I'm your host, Elizabeth. I live in Georgetown, Texas with my mother, Nancy, and my two senior cockapoos, Sullivan and Griffin. Like I said, this is primarily a knitting podcast where I show my finished objects, what's on my needles, anything creative that I might be thinking about, wishful knitting, dream knitting, some stash acquisitions, and any other good stuff that comes up along the way. So if you are returning, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back with me, and thank you very much again for all the lovely comments that people leave. I love to hear what you're all up to. It keeps me engaged with you, and I'm all about building the community here, so I really appreciate that. And if you happen to be new, I hope that you enjoy the time you spent with me today, and maybe you'll consider subscribing and stopping back another time. So grab a nice cold drink. It's still summer in most places. And let's get started. So what am I wearing? This happens to be just a little simple shawlette that I made. This yarn was a gift from a friend of mine, and I'm going to take it off because it is a little warm here in South Texas today. This is called the Fruity Loops Watermelon Shawl, and the yarn was by Apple Tree Knits in the plush fingering base, which is really a lovely squishy lofty base and super soft and drape, has a really nice drape. And the color was called Watermelon Gradient. So literally this is a simple stockinette shawl that you start from the center and you increase and work out, and the yarn does all the work. So this was dyed to look exactly like a slice of watermelon, and I think it's super cute. And I just throw it on sometimes in the summer if we're going out to eat or something and I get chilled from the air conditioning. So I am going to take it off now though because it's a little warm in here. So, and then my friend Sasha over here is wearing, keeping in the watermelon theme, she is wearing a shawl by Lisa Mutch. It's called the Salacious shawl, which is a really lovely fingering weight shawl, and I did this in Miss Bab's Yummy 2-ply in the color Drunken Watermelon. And also that's the pink gradient, and then, or excuse me, variegated, and then the green is Madeline Tosh fingering in, I think it was the sock weight, in the color Jade. So really cute pink and green. I love pink and green. And it looks really cute with this watermelon t-shirt that she has on. So that's what we're wearing. So today for finished objects, I have one, which is my Tolsta tee. Let me bring it over on this side, it might be easier. So this is a pattern by Clow, and it's a simple top-down raglan sweater, and it's knit and stockinette stitch. Rebecca gives you several different options in the pattern. I think I talked about it a couple times now, but if you're new here, gives you a couple different options to do striping or eyelets and things like that. The pattern comes in DK and also in fingering weight, and this is the fingering weight version. I knit this in Suburban Stitcher summer sock base, which is 87% superwash merino wool and 13% cotton. So it's really a lovely base, and the colors are Cadet, which is this blue color, and because of the white from the cotton, it really gives it like a denim-y effect, and I just love it. And then the pink color is Barbie Girl. So I knit this, I decided on 3/4 sleeves, and I think I'll get a lot of wear out of this. It's really lightweight, airy, and squishy, and I think I'll get a lot of wear in spring and summer, and probably some days in winter here in Texas. So super happy with it. What else can I say? Love the pattern. It's very easy to follow, very clear, concise. I did a tubular bind off on the ribbing and the cuffs. I did not do a tubular cast on, I just did a German twisted cast on for the neckline. So super happy with it. So yeah, looking forward to wear it. And that's the only finished object I have this week. So last episode, I mentioned that my sister was coming into town, so I haven't had a lot of knitting time. So I just have that one finished object, and then I really only actively have been working, other than that sweater, the Tolsta tee, the only other project I've been working on is I started a pair of socks. So I'm making the Thursday night socks, which are by, Lindsay Shank-Kirchner, and I'm knitting them in So Happy Jane Bouncy Fingering Base in the color Pistachio Cream, which is a really pretty, just like a creamy color with a little bit of a kind of a pink cast to it, but very, very pale. I would classify it more as cream. And then very light speckling in like mauve and burgundy, almost like an olivey green, a little bit of gold. I did use cast on with a scrap that I had. It was actually a 10-gram mini. I'm not sure where I got it from, and I don't know the colorway or anything, but it's kind of like a rosy brown color. So I am doing I'm doing 2 at a time, but not on the same needle. So I'm doing 2 separate circular needles in a size US 1. And I did the cuff on each sock, and then I'm just working like 10 rows at a time, although this one I got a little bit further on because I had a little bit extra time the other day, and I just continued on with this one. But I'm starting to knit the pattern, so it's a really nice textured pattern. And I made these one other time and just really enjoyed knitting it. It's kind of mindless, but with that texture pattern, it gives you a little bit of engagement, not a little bit more than just like a simple vanilla sock, but nothing too difficult. So you can talk and watch TV and everything else. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to continuing to work on these. I do have a business trip coming up this week. I'm going to Boston for 3 days, so I'll have a lot of airtime and hotel time. So I'll probably finish the pair of socks while I'm gone. So, but that's really the only other thing that's been on my needles. I haven't had time to work on any of my other sweaters or my active projects that I have been showing. So hope to get back to those next weekend when I'm back from my business trip. So this is going to be a little bit of a special episode since I don't have a lot of whips to talk to you about and nor finished objects. So I thought I would take a moment to show you some of my Joji Locatelli knits. She does the Joji Fall Cal every year, and I've participated in it a couple times, but I do love her pattern. She's a great designer and she's a lovely person. I've met her in person a few times and had some of her classes, which I've really enjoyed. But her Cal is getting ready to kick off in a couple weeks. It runs from September 1st through November 30th. And you go on to her Ravelry group and you can sign up through there, and you have to pick a category. She has 4 categories that you can sign up for if you're not familiar with it. So she has small items, which would be like cowls, hats, gloves, that kind of thing, socks. And then the other category would be shawls and wraps, which obviously shawls and wraps. Third category would be pullovers, which would be closed sweaters. And then the 4th category is cardigans, which of course would be open or button-up cardigans. So I thought I would show some of the stuff that I've knit over the years of Joji's. And like I said, she's one of my favorite designers. And so I thought I would just take some time to show you that. I'm not going to go too much into like the yarn. I'm just going to really talk more about the pattern and kind of just showcase them for you. But everything that I do have here, I will link in the description below in the notes so that you'll be able to click on my Ravelry projects and take a look further if you are interested in what yarns I've used. I usually keep pretty good notes as far as the yarn and stuff and any modifications that I might make. So let's go ahead and get started. So coming from the first category of the small items, I've knit the hipster cowl, and I did this in Mayak. I'm not sure, I can't remember the color, but like I said, it'll be in my Ravelry page. This is the Mayak medium, which is a worsted weight. And this was fun. It has that Indian cross stitch and super cute. Kind of wraps around. You can just let it hang, or sometimes I'll wrap it around twice like that. And if it's cold, it kind of snugs up. So I enjoyed knitting that. It is was done on a US 8 or 5.0 millimeter needle, and the gauge was 16 stitches and 30 rows. And like I said, it's a worsted weight that the pattern calls for worsted weight, and I knit it in a worsted weight. I'm sure you could do a DK too, it would just be a little bit smaller. So, but a super fun project. If you're looking for a quick knit, it's also really good to give as a gift. And it's fun with these little tassels that you put on. The next item in the small items category is the Chubby Butterflies hat. I don't have that to show, but I will insert a picture of it. I've gifted that since it was such a heavy hat and I didn't think I would wear it too much. My sister lives in Lake Tahoe where they have a lot more cold weather, so I sent it off to her because she really liked it and I thought she would get more wear out of it. So I will insert a picture of it though. And that is knit in bulky weight and it goes super quick. And I knit a size 2 on that one on a US 8 5.0 millimeters, 16 stitches and 24 rows per 4 inches. Okay, so then let's move on to the shawls and wraps. And I have a lot of those because I tend to knit a lot of shawls. So the first shawl I made is the Pure Joy shawl, and I'm reading my notes, sorry. If you wonder why I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading my notes here. So the first one is the Pure Joy shawl, and I knit that on a US 6 4.0 millimeters, 17.5 stitches and 42 rows, and it's done in fingering weight. And this I used just to use up, or I made utilizing some stash. And I don't remember the colors. I think this was something feet yarn, Frolicking Feet or something, I'm not sure. But I had this little bit of this green color left, and I thought that would fit in well. It tied in with the variegated that I chose. This was a super fun, just mindless garter stitch. I guess aptly named Pure Joy because it was really a joy to knit. Super fun. And I love wearing this little shawl. It's fun with jeans to wrap around like that. What have you, under a jacket with a blazer. I think it's super cute. I love the colors, jewel tones. So yeah, I knit this quite a while ago too, but it's held up. And then I also knit the Fading Point wrap, which is a large wrap, and it's done on a US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needle. And the gauge on that is 22 stitches and 44 rows per 4 inches. And it's done in fingering weight, and you use 5 colors. It's quite large, and it was modular. And I actually loved knitting this. And I used Expression Fiber Arts, like a wool and silk base for a few of the colors. I know, so my wrap has a lot of drape to it and it's super soft and it's really quite luxurious. I love it. But I did it in kind of like purples, light lavender, and to a gray. And so you knit these 2 halves and then these like triangular shaped halves, and then you stitch them together, I think, or knit them together, pick up and knit. I can't remember the construction on it, but it was fun. It was very addictive knitting. As big as it is, it didn't take me as long as I would have thought it would. So this is half of it. So yeah, that is the Fading Point wrap. And it's really, because of its size, it's more like a blanket, so it's really nice if it's chilly out to wrap around you when you're watching TV or whatever. Then I also knit the Jody shawl, which was done, he designed the Jody and Tracy shawls for the grocery girls for their birthdays. And this is the Jody shawl, and I've actually knit a couple more of these, but I gifted them. But this is one I knit for my mother. Goes this way. So, and it's a 3-color shawl, and it is a DK, and it's done on a US 7 4.5 millimeters and has 14.55 stitches per 4 inches. I'm not sure how many rows, but it's just a shawl, so the gauge really isn't that important. So it's mostly garter, and then it has a little bit of a lace border at the bottom. And the yarn I use has some alpaca in it, so my mom really likes it. It's very soft, and this is really, really neutral, so she can wear it with just about anything. And it keeps her warm. And I will insert pictures of the other 2 that I gifted. I did one in like a turquoisey color for my grandmother. I'm not sure if I have a picture of that one, but the other one I knit in maybe like a terracotta and beige. I think I used Farmer's Daughter fibers for that one, and I sent that off to my girlfriend up in Michigan. So, and then moving on, I knit the Odyssey shawl, which I did in La Biena May yarn, and it is a DK. You use 3 colors of DK. It's knit on a US 8, 5.0 millimeters, 13 stitches, and 26 rows per 4 inches. And this is Winterfell. I don't remember the other colors, but like I said, it'll be links to my Ravelry projects and all that is in there. So this is, again, another garter stitch shawl with sections of lace that interrupt the garter stitch bands, and then a little bit of a picot edge at the bottom, which blocks out to give you a really nice effect. So you can kind of see that, and it's quite a long crescent shape shawl, the Odyssey shawl. Another wrap that I made was the Suburban wrap, which I actually, excuse me, I have a piece of hair in my mouth. The Suburban wrap, which I actually bought as part of, or I actually bought a kit. I don't buy kits that often, but I loved this when I saw it. And it was from, the kit was from Diane of Suburban Stitcher. And I got it at the Hill Country Weavers Retreat, which sadly, Hill Country Weavers just closed down. I'm really upset over that. I love that store. Have a lot of history there and have gone to several of their retreats. So quite sad that that store shut down. It's a big loss to our area. It's going to kind of change the landscape of things as far as the knitting shops in Austin. But this is the Suburban wrap, and it was a really lovely piece to knit as well. A lot of interesting, not hard, but just interesting things going on, from garter stitch to eyelet rows to stockinette, some striping, and then some different lace panels, more striping. And it's just, this is in Suburban Stitcher sock, and it has a really nice drape to it. And it was 3 colors. I'm not sure those colors, but again, in my Ravelry page, I think this color I know is Predictability. It's one of my favorites. And the next thing I knit, well, not next thing, but next thing I'm going to show you that I knit is the Julie's wrap, which was a labor of love. It was a lot of knitting, and it was done on a US 6, 4.0 millimeters, 22 stitches and 36 rows per 4 inches. And it's done in fingering weight. So it is also a long wrap. I'll show you, this is half of it. So quite long. I did this in Savvy Skeins Boots and Spurs, I think is the name of that. And this was just a lot of garter stitch with a nice ribbed border, and then a really nice bobble bind off, or edging I should say, that you do after all around. And has a little bit of shaping here along the edging, which is really pretty. And then the corners I think are very pretty as well. So you can kind of see that. Yeah, so that's called the Julie's wrap, and I wear this a ton. I travel with it. I wear it for work when it's chilly. I'll throw it on over the top of a sweater or a jacket. And yeah, because it's just really, I wear a lot of black pants and what have you, so it looks really nice. You can look a little bit dressier if I need to, put on a nice necklace and earrings or what have you. Really enjoy that. Then I knit the Lone Skein shawl, which I mentioned before that Hohi does single skein shawls quite often. I think once a year she does one. And this one I knit for my mother. And I don't remember the yarn, but again, it'll be in Ravelry. This is called the Lone Skein shawl. It's again just a long crescent shaped shawlette that starts with a garter tab in the center, and you work your way out through increases. This had a little bit of lace in it. Oh, I see she's pulled this. I'm gonna have to fix that for her. And then a little bit of picot edging fancy edging on the bottom. I don't remember exactly how it was done, but little points that you pull out when you block it. So cute. Cute around the neck. It looks real, this color looks really cute with just like a denim shirt or a bright color t-shirt, and this and a pair of jeans looks really cute. Pair of boots, really nice. And then something else I've shown on the podcast before in earlier episodes, but the It Brings You Peace shawl, which was done in Surrey alpaca. And I was a test knitter for this, for Hohi. And this is a triangular shawl, super light and airy, done, yeah, I did mine in Surrey. I think you could use mohair or Surrey. I think I did Surrey. It has some garter stitch and then some 2-color ribbing and a little bit of lace. Nothing difficult, super lightweight, fun to knit. It didn't take very long. Yeah, so It Brings You Peace. It was a very peaceful knit. And then this I showed not too long ago, maybe a couple episodes ago, as a finished object, the Traveling Solo shawl. Another single skein shawlette that has these fun cross, like twisted, I don't know what they're called, I can't remember what they're called, twisted stitches though. And that was fun to do. And this just went real quick too. And this one has a little bit of stellina in it, so it sparkles. And then I've also knitted the hipster shawl, which was like the hipster cowl, but the shawl version. And I made that in a red, which I don't have anymore. I gifted it to my girlfriend in Michigan. And so I'll try to insert a picture of that. And also I knit the Circle of Friends shawl, which came out a few years ago. And that was, I did that in like a light blue and creamy yellow color. And I gifted that actually to a colleague of mine who came up from Mexico for a business event one day. And I thought she might like that to wear on airplanes when she travels. And she really enjoyed it. Plus, I just liked the fact that it was called Circle of Friends. It had some baubles and it was really cute. And she loved it. So that was good. So I'll try to put a picture of that in as well. So that's all from the small items in the shawls and wraps categories. So now we'll move on to pullovers. Let me regroup here. Give me one moment. All right, then moving on to the pullovers category. This is the Elton pullover, which is done in fingering and mohair, held double. I did not hold the mohair double, I just held it single because I wanted it to be very sheer. I think it's supposed to be double though. I know for sure it's fingering. I knit this on a US 4 3.5 millimeters for the ribbing and a US 6 4.0 millimeters for the main body. The gauge is 20.5 stitches and 36 rows per 4 inches. I made a size 3 and it's kind of a boxy. It's not real cropped, it hits me right to my hip bone, and I did like a 3/4 sleeve, kind of a boxy fit. But I love it, super lightweight. I can wear it with a tank. I can get away without wearing anything under it too. It doesn't bother me. It's not too sheer. So this yarn, I think I ordered it online from what used to be Stranded Dye Works in England. So that's kind of special for me. And then I also knit in this category the Super Simple Summer Sweater, which I knit a size small, and it's a worsted pattern done with 17.5 stitches and 28 rows per 4 inches. I did the ribbing in a US 3.5 millimeter needle, and then the main body in a US 6 4.0 millimeter. And I knit this in Barker wool, and I don't remember the colors, but again, it'll be in Ravelry. This is a heavy sweater. Worsted is pretty heavy for Texas, but I do wear this in the winter and it keeps me warm, so I do like it. Some hair on it, sorry. So it's a pretty kind of a bluey turquoise, and then this like golden color. Yeah, and it's a really nice fit on this. Yeah, I think I said I made a size small, and I like the cuffs are ribbed, but then just kind of a rolled edge after the ribbing. So I thought that was kind of a nice detail. So that's that one. That's all the pullovers I've done. I think I started a boxy, which I know is a super popular pattern. It did not suit me and I ended up frogging it. I was knitting this, I think the smallest size, but it was just so wide and so much fabric, and I'm short and short-waisted, and I probably knit about this much of it, and I was like, this is just not going to be for me. So I ended up frogging it and using the yarn for something else. So anyway, but I know my friend Melissa knit one, and she looks fabulous in it. She's really tall and just really suited her. It just did not suit me, or I didn't think it was going to suit me. So, but I know it's super popular and a lot of people knit them. So anyway, moving on to the cardigans. I made the Like a Cloud cardigan. I think was maybe one of the first cardigans of hers I made, which is a beautiful cardigan done in mohair. And this was done, I know this was in Shibui Silk Cloud, I think is what it was called. And I think Rowan Kid Silk Haze maybe too. I don't know. But it's like, it's double mohair, I think. And I don't remember oh, I think the color, one of the colors was bone, I believe. I don't know. But this is a simple cardigan. It doesn't even have a button band. It's just, you knit it, and the sweater is what it is, but it's super nice. It's got ribbing, quite a bit of ribbing at the bottom. Sometimes I flip the cuffs up because my sleeves are a little bit long, but I actually like them long because then when it's cold out, I can pull them down, you know, over my fingers a bit, keep my fingers warm. But I love this color. I think it's just a super neutral color. It looks really pretty with like a white top or black and black pants or a black skirt. Although I don't wear skirts that often because I'm in manufacturing. So a lot of times I'd be in plants and that, and you can't really wear a skirt. So that's the Like a Cloud. It's a really pretty textured pattern too. That was a lot of fun to knit. And then let's see, from the interpretations books which were the books that Hohi and Vera Valimaki used to put out, where they would pick a certain number of words and then they would each do a pattern based on their kind of vision of that word. And this was from volume 5, which is so Interpretations volume 5, and this is called The Rugged Coat, and it's a long cardigan, cabled and broken rib. So it's pretty long. I trying to think if I may have shortened this even though from what the pattern was, but it does come down like over my bum to like mid thigh. And it's it's knit in DK, and this is Malintosh in the color Pebble. And I think this is the color that Hohi knit the sample in, and I actually saw this at one of the retreats that I was at, and I just fell in love with it, and I thought I really wanted that. And I literally wear this like as a jacket, and I have a black cashmere sweater that I wear underneath it and then put this over. It looks really pretty together. But this I knit on a US 6 4.0 millimeter, and the gauge on it was 20 stitches and 30 rows per 4 inches, and I knit the size small. So I don't even remember, it was top down I think, but I don't remember all the construction because it was a while ago. And then the sleeves are all the broken rib, and then tubular bind off I did. I think that was maybe one of the first times I did the tubular bind off, and I don't even know if I realized I was doing it. And oh, it also has pockets too. I guess I should point that out. So the cable goes right into the pocket, which I think is really nice. So a nice feature of that, or design element. And then my only other cardigan that I made was the Elton cardigan. And this is really pretty. Mohair on my lips, sorry. This is, I made a size medium, and it's in fingering and mohair or lace weight or mohair held double. And I think this yarn, this really pretty dark purple color, was from Sweet Sparrow Yarns, but I don't remember the color name. And this was done, the ribbing on a US 2.5 or 3 millimeter, and the body done on a US 4 or 3.5 millimeter. And so here's the ribbing, and it's just regular ribbing with tubular bind off. And I just put pretty mother of pearl or shell mother of pearl buttons on it, which I thought kind of pick up the purple, play off the dark purple. So, and this is, I think this is also 3/4 sleeve, I believe. So, and sometimes I'll just wear it with a t-shirt underneath it. And I get quite a bit of wear of that too. Even though it's hot here in Texas, we do wear sweaters when it cools down, which I'm anxiously waiting fall and winter. I feel like fall is right around the corner. I don't know if y'all feel that way, but I feel like it's coming. Even though it's super hot here right now, this has like been the hottest part of our summer. I feel like it's just right there on that corner, and I'm like so here for it. So not to rush summer to those of you who are in cold climates, because I know you look forward to the summer, but yeah, we look forward to summer ending here so that we can have 9 months of really good weather. So anyway, those are my Joji knits. I hope you enjoyed looking at those, and maybe something caught your attention that maybe you'll want to join her Cal. I'm not sure if I'm going to join it this year. I have so many other things going on, but I have enjoyed when I've done it in the past. And like I said, I really do enjoy her patterns. So hopefully that was fun for you, and thanks for taking the time to watch it. So I have a couple of acquisitions that I wanted to show. About a month ago, I went to the lake house with my girlfriends, and we did some dock shopping where we all actually bought some stuff online from the dock, which was kind of fun because, you know, it's always fun to shop from a dock. But I got some yarn from Ruby and Rose's yarn in I forget what her release was called, but she had a special release, and this was the colorway In Bloom. And she had shown this beautiful sweater where this variegated was actually the main color, and then she striped it with all of these beautiful minis. So I saw the sweater knit up, and it just totally caught my eye, and I had to have it. So I waited for the moment it was releasing, and I ordered it. And I got it, so I'm excited. I don't know when I'll make this sweater. It may not be until spring, but I'm super excited to have this yarn. I just think it's gorgeous, and her base is really nice. This is the soft rose base, which is 85% superwash merino and 15% nylon, and it's 437 yards per 100 grams. And the minis are the same base. So yeah, super excited about that. And then I also got some cashmere that was on sale as a sample sale from Pearl Soho. I love Pearl Soho. And I got a sweater's quantity of this beautiful red color. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just loved it. And then this kind of hot pink color. I think I got 3 or 4 skeins of this. Yeah, I think maybe three skeins of this. I'm going to probably make maybe like a Sophie shawl or something like that. I haven't decided for sure. So those are a couple of my acquisitions that I have. Other than that, I mentioned that my sister came and my niece. We had a good time. The week went by really quickly. Well, actually it was a very chaotic week because on top of my sister coming, we're having some work done on our house. So we had windows replaced. We had to have our shutters, our plantation shutters, which we had installed just a few months ago. Like in the spring, we had to have those taken down so they could put the windows in, and then we had to have the shutters were all stacked in the house, and then we had to have the shutters put back up. Meantime, we were also having concrete poured in the backyard and a pergola put up, and part of that time, I think there was like maybe 5 days where we couldn't let the dogs out the dog door and into the backyard, so we'd have to take them out on leashes. They're old, they were so confused. And in the midst of that, my sister and niece wanted to come for a visit. So it was pretty chaotic, and I was slammed at work. So anyway, I did manage to have a couple days off, and we had a little bit of time to do some crafting, which was fun. So we planned to do some of those beaded stitch markers. So I thought I would show them. And I'm going to be putting them in my shop. They're just not there yet. So these are little mushrooms that we did. So kind of fun little beaded mushrooms. And a little bumblebee, which I think is super cute. That's kind of dimensional. And then we did the fish, which I think are super fun. There's a trio of fish. Let me do it this way. So we got a pink and orange, a pink and turquoise, and an orange and turquoise. And those are super fun. And then this little guy was kind of solo. This is green and purple, like purpley pink color. He's fun. And this blue and white guy. So a lot of fun. They were very tedious. A lot of work goes into them. Very, very time consuming. So, and then I made, this one's a little bit larger. So let me show you in comparison. I should show you in comparison. But you can see this is a larger one. So I made him just into a progress keeper, but he's really pretty, lavender, opalescent with a kind of blue eye. And he's on a lobster clasp. So I'm gonna try to make a few more of them and then put them into the shop. I don't know if anyone's interested, but my shop is at Cozy Sky Co on Etsy. So anyway, but that was fun. And we did a couple other things. We took my niece to 3 different colleges while she was here. So we went to Temple, to Baylor, which she absolutely loved Baylor, and we got a tour of the campus, and it was a lot of fun. And then we took her one day to Texas State, which she also really liked, in San Marcos, Texas, and we had the tour there. And then she went to Southwestern. I didn't go on that day because it's just here in Georgetown. It's a lovely little campus, but she thought that one was probably a little too small for what she's looking for out of her college experience. But it's really nice school though, but very, very small. So yeah, so other than that, we found a couple of pieces of furniture online through Facebook Marketplace, and my sister bought a liquor cabinet from someone here in our development that was selling it, she's downsizing and got rid of some stuff, and so we got a really nice piece of furniture for her for like $50, and she's going to sand it and paint it, and she's not going to use it for a liquor cabinet. She's going to use it for just different storage, like for her crafts and stuff when she moves here. So it's in our garage right now. Waiting for her to move next year. But it sounds like she is going to move, so that's the good thing. And then we found a desk. My mom's been looking for a desk to put her puzzle tray on, something that looks a little nicer. We just had a kind of a foldable desk that she was using to put her tray on, and so we found this desk that was redone. And it was really interesting when we went to pick it up. It's like a Scandinavian style desk, and it was done with like green. I'll put a picture of it. It's really pretty. But the woman who did it was actually from Ukraine, and she is here on humanitarian visa because she lost everything. She and her daughter are here. She lost everything in the war. So she's actually an attorney, but she can't work here in her field, obviously. And so she's looking for work in project management or something, but she's just not able to find anything right now. So she started redoing furniture, and she's very artistic. And she was showing me some photos of other things that she did where she does decoupage and painting different designs and stuff. And it was just really interesting to see her work and her creativity, and we got a lovely piece of furniture out of it. But it was just really heart-wrenching to hear her story, and I just gave her a hug and couldn't hug her tight enough. I mean, she had tears in her eyes telling me, and there was a man there with her who was American. He was from Texas, and I don't know if it was her boyfriend or what have you, but definitely her friend, and he was helping her. So it was nice to meet them. Yeah, so that's about it. I don't know. I'm going, like I said, on a work trip this week. I'm going to Boston for a one-day event on Thursday evening. Hopefully the hurricane that's going up the East Coast is not going to impact my travel, because I am going through Philly on the way there and Charlotte on the way back. So I don't know about that. And the event we're going to is actually like a harbor cruise on Thursday night. So fingers crossed that all goes well. We'll see. that's about it for today. I wanted to get this episode out, even though I didn't have a lot of new content for you other than the ho-he stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed that and found some inspiration and just enjoyed sitting around, and hopefully you got some work done on a project that you were working on and had some time to sit back and relax. Again, if you found something you like, and you could give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, if you would consider it, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to catching up with you next time. So until then, take care, find joy in your making. Bye-bye.